up there and they went to the house. Somebody had you and the cops came out here. Told me I was just taking out the garbage. Where you been?
Shit, man, I've been taking care of these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn.
Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. This is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house. You better believe it, cause today won't be your day. I can guarantee it, you should turn and walk away and get to leaving, or I'll let this 12 gauge do all my speaking. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Don't push me on the edge, boy. Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. Cause I'm aiming for your head, boy. And all I see is red, boy. And all I see is red, boy. I told you not to cross that line. I told you not to cross that line. I'm giving you a chance, boy. I'm giving you a chance, you see boy. The devil in a glance, boy. The devil in a glance, I can knock you out your pants, boy. Knock you out your pants, boy. I told you not to fuck with mine. I told you not to fuck with mine. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy. Y'all was coming in, and now you're backing out. Now you're backing out. It's hard to talk big with a shotgun in your mouth. Shotgun in your mouth. I'm glad you brought your friends. They can watch it go down. Watch it go down. I got mine too. So welcome to my house. Cause these are my people, and this is my land. This is my land. And this is what we pray for, and this is God's plan. This is God's plan. And if you ain't from here, then you won't understand. You won't understand. This is my country, and this is who I am. So welcome to my house. So welcome to my house.
I got a girl inside this house, and right now she's sound asleep. So it's probably best for the both of us if you just turn around and leave. Cause if you come in this fucking house, then you too gonna go to sleep. I promise you, boy, don't play with me. I pray to God my soul to keep. Especially this day and age, gotta handle shit our own way. With a 30-30 or 12 gauge behind this door, you're hella wait. My old lady, she rides too, picking up every shell case, mopping up these blood stains, but she ain't seen a damn thing. Most of my people are
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome on into the Apex Auto Glass and Window Tinting 410 Sprint Car Championship Series live right here on Ultimate Dirt TV. I'm Tyler Harris, joined alongside Brett Wheeler. Brett, an awesome night of racing last night for the 360 Sprint Cars right here at the Volusia Speedway. Qualifying underway. We will see if we can try to replicate that incredible finish that we saw yesterday. Why don't you talk us through what happened for those who missed it?
Well, it was basically Ty Schoberlock who had led pretty much the majority of that feature race until that final turn on the final lap where Tim Smith, who had been running the highline for most of the race, dove down to the bottom in 3 and 4 and got the win by 0.041 of a second. A hell of a way to finish the Next Level Racing 360 Wing Sprint Cars at Volusia. Again, the 410s here tonight, I think we are looking at about 35, 36 cars, and no doubt we'll see if we can replicate that finish here tonight.
We've got plenty of pro drivers in the field here tonight. Over half the field made up of pro drivers, as pro qualifiers have wrapped up for the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Series. So we will see plenty of very familiar names here tonight. Just about a minute left here in qualifying. Aiden Forrester, currently your fastest overall driver with a 12.735 second lap. Tyler Schell, currently second quick with a 12.737, so just 2/1000ths of a second off. So some of these drivers making their final qualifying sessions now. I believe that might have been the 86th there of
Tim Smith.
I can't believe that was Timmy Smith. Yes, last night's feature winner in the 360s. So Aiden Forrester still your fastest overall time. Looking over the point standings going into tonight's event, we've got our fourth different points leader going into this week here. It is Mason Hannigan, your points leader with 238 points. Right behind him, Evan Say, 18 points behind in the second spot. Logan Rumsey is third, Aiden Beerline fourth, James Eden's fifth, Tanner Pettit sixth, Aiden Forrester seventh, Timmy Smith eighth, Tyler Schell ninth, and Dylan Yeager rounds out your top 10 in points as qualifying is officially complete. Aiden Forrester is your fastest overall qualifier here tonight.
Just for the people that I don't know if you caught that one, 15 pro drivers inside the top 24. In fact, 15 pro drivers inside the top 16 or 17 it was, and the top 11 consisted of those Pro World Championship drivers that they'll probably see, I believe, in about a week and a half's time. So we'll look at your heat race number one. There's your qualifying results first off, and we're going to see three heats of 12 on the program.
And heat race number one will line up like this. Aiden Forrester out of the great state of Michigan will start on the pole as he was your fastest overall qualifier. Bryce Lucius with an impressive qualifying run will start second. James Edens will start third with Blake Giglio starting in the fourth spot. Eric Whitner will start fifth with Braden Eiler making his, not a debut here, but definitely making a comeback, starting in position number 6th. Garrett Pepiat will start 7th with Lane Snook to his outside in 8th. Ernie Williams Jr. 9th. Chase Wolf will start in position number 10. Jonathan Paquette will start 11th, and Brandon Veers rounds out the 12th and final starting position here for heat race number 1 in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Series. What are we looking for here, Brett? What are you expecting here tonight?
A lot of fast racing. These drivers, and again, for the 20-odd pro drivers that we have, close to 20 pro drivers that we have here tonight. We already seen the top 6 in heat race number 1. They are World Championship drivers coming into the World of Outlaws iRacing Sprint Car World Championships. I think we'll see the middle part of the racetrack probably be the place to be for the opening couple of heats, probably heat 3 and probably more so our C main is where you'll see the cars move up the racetrack, get a look closer to that outside wall, but they've got to be careful. We seen last night, Ryan Avila was one of the drivers that took a hard fall. Caught the cushion in 3 and 4. It biked the car up and sent him actually out of the ballpark and sent him out of the race.
That you are right, as they make their way around the backstretch into 3 and 4. Now the top 3 cars will transfer to the feature event here tonight. The rest of the cars will be subject to alphabet soup, and an entertaining one last week at that. We'll see if we can replicate it here tonight as the green flag waves. Pace truck pulls in. Great start for Aiden Forster. He makes his way into turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, James Eden's immediately got by Blake Giglio, as now Giglio tries to work back to the outside. Like I said, a lot of drivers running through the middle part of the racetrack. Eric Whitner and Braden Island, they work side by side as Braden Island now moves up to position number 5. Whitner back to 6. And there's the 47 of Garrett Pepiat, not too far back. Now he looks down to the inside on Eric Whitner.
Pepiat does go to the inside, looking to improve his position. Only 3 advance out of this heat race, and trouble for Whitner. And those mentioned, hard wreck. No cautions in these heat races, so we stay rolling here as Aiden Forster is still your leader.
Yeah, James Edens runs out in that third and final transfer position, although Bryce Lucius, he's doing well to hang on to that second spot. James Edens, we go back a couple of weeks ago at Cedar Lake. He led a number of laps at Cedar Lake before being passed by the eventual race winner of Ryan Avila. So, again, James Edens, he's been on the pro circuit, I want to say every sprint car season that 52, the Swindell Speed Lab entry, has made an appearance.
He is the winningest driver of this season here with 2 feature wins for this brief season at this point, as we eclipse on the halfway point of this first half of the season. 6 laps into this heat race, for that matter. Blake Giglio on the outside looking in right now just by 1 spot. Braden Eiler would like to make a tremendous comeback here, or a tremendous resurgence here into the Apex Auto Glass and Window Tinting 410 Sprint Car Series, as he's taken a few years off. 8 laps complete now, 2 to go.
Yeah, on board right now with Bryce Lucius looking out the back of the tail tank. You see James Eden still running back there in position number 3, Braden Island. You can see he goes to the inside. He'll put the slider attempt on Blake Giglio, but Giglio works back to the outside. 2 laps left to run. Look at Braden Island again. He's trying to make it work into turn number 1 and 2.
Was looking for the 2 but just did not have it. Here comes Giglio making a move of his own. You got to try to make a lap here as the white flag flies. 1 lapper maybe Giglio through the middle. Eden's up high, and here comes a huge run coming down the backstretch from Eiler.
Well, Eiler's going to make his way down into turns 3 and 4, but the checkered flag is out. Aiden Forster gets the win. Bryce Lucius home in second. James Eden's third. And Braden Eiler, 5/1000ths of a second over Blake Giglio for that 4th and 5th position. That'll put basically Braden Eiler on the pole for the B main later on tonight, where Blake Giglio, he'll have to come from the outside of the second row at the end of the night. That's a big advantage from starting on pole to outside second row.
Take a look at the results for heat race number 1. You see it there. Aiden Forster was your winner. Bryce Lucius with a strong second place runs. Eden's third. Eiler 4th. Giglio 5th. Snook, Wolf, Veers, Williams Jr., Paquette, Pepiot, and Whitner round out your field. So Whitner and Pepiot going to have to make some tremendous moves through the alphabet soup to get their way forward into the feature event. Heat race number 2 on the board now. Tyler Schell will start on the pole, as Kenny Hoffman will start to his outside. Tanner Pepiot will start in the 3rd spot with Kenny Miller 4th. Ross Kaiser will start in the 5th spot with Braden Finsel in position number 6. Nathan Davis starts 7th with Andrew Allen in 8th. Clayton Tilley will start 9th with Ryan Avila starting in position 10. Merrill Gehring Jr. Merrill Gehring the 4th will start in 11th, and JP Scheiderer will round out the field in the 12th starting position. So we look at this one. Kenny Hoffman, a tough week last week, looks to rebound off of that performance. Who do you got in this one, Brett?
It'll be hard to go past Tyler Schell. Starting on the pole, again, he'll have control of the field, although the track at the moment, like I said, the opening couple of heat races, it'll probably stay right around the mid-groove until they start to get that middle part of the racetrack slickened off for where we'll go up top, and that'll bring that bottom side back in. So I think Tyler Schell is going to be hard to beat. Again, Kenny Hoffman was pretty good last week. Tanner Pettit, he'll be one to watch. But again, I mean, there's a number of drivers. I mean, you look at Ryan Villa, Clayton Tilley, although they're starting in the 9th and 10th position, they've got a long way to go. But you go back just one row back behind them, Mr. Excitement Machine, JP Charter in that 5. He'll be one to watch try to come through the field as well.
Yeah, I think my eyes on Clayton Tilley here. He's definitely got the potential, a rare underperforming qualifying run for him, but I think he can easily work his way forward here, as he certainly has the potential. Lights are out. Green flag is ready to wave as the pace truck pulls itself in. Tyler Shell off to a rocketing start into turns 1 and 2.
And immediately Kenny Hoffman dove back right up to the top side of the racetrack. Pettit and Kenny Miller, they work side by side down into turn number 3. Kenny Miller with a slide job there on Tanner Pettit. Pettit works back to the inside. They'll race off turn number 4. Tanner Pettit had third at the line.
Pettit not satisfied with that third spot, was looking for second there briefly, but he's got his hands full with Kenny Miller. Kenny Miller going to the inside there, running through the middle line with Pettit following behind, just a line lower in 4th. The rest of the field with the battle to watch in front of them as we see Kaiser trying to stick his nose into some business there for 4th.
Yeah, I'll reckon Ross Kaiser in that 4K machine. He was on the outside looking in 5th position. Oh, look out, contact. Kenny Hoffman hard into the concrete. Ross Kaiser involved. Oh my, Kenny Miller involved as well. That'll put Tanner Pettit up to position number 2. And Braden Fensel going to battle with Clayton Tilley for that 3rd and final transfer position. Now into the wall goes Fensel. Now Clayton Tilley from position number 9 to position number 3. He's on the charge. Meanwhile, Tanner Pettit comes after your race leader. 5 down, 5 to run past the start-finish line.
Tilly up to the 3rd and final transfer spot. Don't take your eyes off of him. Some evasive maneuvers there for our top 2 drivers, and the rest of the field now taking evasive action as well. We stay rolling here with 6 laps complete. Nice move there for Fensel, holding on to that inside line, but here comes Tilly at the line. Who's it going to be? Clayton Tilley has that transfer spot now with 3 to go.
Now a 10th of a second between Tyler Shell and Tanner Pettit. Pettit down low, down into 3. He'll slide up. Tyler Shell turns it back underneath him. Tyler Shell leads lap number 7. Pettit gets the cushion on the entry into turn 1. Drives it down to the bottom of the racetrack, finding the moisture. Slide job attempt going to come. No, he's going to stay mid-track and now cut it back down. Cut back line for Tanner Pettit. Unusual line here at the moment for Tanner Pettit.
Through a line, but it's definitely working with 2 laps remaining here. Now we'll see what he chooses to do here in 3 and 4. Going to keep it up high. We'll see if he tries to turn it back down low. He does not. He's going to try to get a momentum run here on the final lap as the white flag flies.
Well, I guess Tyler Shell going to go into protective mode into turn number 3 and 4 for the final time. Heat race number 2 is about to be done. No, Shell stays upstairs. Pettit not going to have enough for half a second behind him. Tyler Shell gets the win in heat number 2. Tanner Pettit home in 2nd. Braden Fensel home in 3rd. He'll go directly to the show. That'll put Clayton Tilley outside of the front row for the B main. Mel Gehring at the 4th, home in 5th. Andrew Allen, Kenny Miller, Kenny Hoffman, Ross Kaiser, Nathan Davis, Ryan Avila, and JP Charterer. The 12 drivers for heat number 2. Well, the excitement is already happening here. That cushion into turn number 1. Tyler, it's very gnarly.
It is. It kind of showed itself last night as we take a look at the heat race results there. You've read through them already, so just a final look at it before we head into heat race number 3. Some of the very capable drivers going to have to make their way through the alphabet soup, but some drivers like Fensel definitely giving themselves a great opportunity here. 3rd and final heat race for the evening here. Adam Elby will start on the pole in the 74 car with Mason Hannigan, your points leader, to his outside. Timothy Smith, last night's feature winner in the 360s, will start 3rd with Gunnar Harris starting in 4th. Justin Stoles will start in 5th with Aiden Bierlein on his outside starting in 6th. Alex Scherzinski starting in the 7th spot with Randy Shreves starting 8th. David Allen will start 9th with Mel Dunn to his outside starting 10th, and Michael Farron out of Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, starts in position 11. Mel Dunn had an impressive run last week, so we'll see if he can try to capitalize off of that and carry the momentum through. Has a little bit of work to do here for Heat 3.
Yeah, it was actually, Mel Dunn was actually quite good last night until disaster struck towards probably around the latter half of that feature event in the 360 Sprint Car Series. So again, we talk about the pro drivers. Obviously, Mason Hannigan, Adam Elby, both those drivers get the... Adam Elby, in fact, already qualified for that series where Mason Hannigan, who had to do it the hard way, had to go through the qualifiers. Gunnar Harris, Aiden Bierlein, Tim Smith, again, those guys are going to be one to watch. Randy Shreves, I was very impressed with last night, came home with a 3rd place finish. Alex Sierczynski's got a bit of work to do in that 4th row as well. So again, like we say, a C and C each and every week, Tyler. there's not one particular heat that is stacked, because you go through the entire heat races, whether it's heat 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5, every heat race is stacked with competitive drivers.
You're absolutely right. And even like when we get those thicker fields, those 50-car fields, those E-mains are really a tough task. And that's why it's difficult to see some of these drivers to make their way through the alphabet soup. There's just so much you have to do. And if you really have an upsetting run in your heat race, it really just puts you behind the 8 ball. And it's really tough to overcome. As the Chevy Silverado pace truck makes its way into the infield, the green flag flies. Adam Elby takes off to a great start, but not far behind is Mason Hannigan right on that high side.
Tim Smith and Gunnar Harris had a bit of contact at the start-finish line. Unfortunately, Gunnar Harris now going to find himself nearly 6 seconds behind your race leader. So he's got a lot of work to do, got a lot of damage on that 54 machine. We go into 1 and 2. Beerline rolls to bottom. Here comes Alex Zazinski rolling through the middle of the racetrack. Sorry, it's the 23 of Justin Stoll, as he now puts the move right now on Timothy Smith. And this is the line that Tim Smith was running, and it's not going to happen for him. Meanwhile, there is Alex Zazinski in that 23. He's now going to get shuffled back.
Beerline getting the best of that one as he is now up to the 3rd and final transfer spot. We see a 4-car battle for position right there. That looks like a battle for 4th with David Allen, Mel Dunn, Michael Farron, and Justin Stoles on the outside looking in now. Try to make a maneuver there in turn 2. Good on the backstretch and into 3. Here comes the 22 car, I believe, of Mel Dunn making his way forward. Mel Dunn now getting overtaken by Michael Farron. They battle for 5th.
Yeah, Dunn in that 23 just gets by the 22 there of Michael Farron. Then you got the 23 to the right of your screen. So there's three car 23s in just heat race number 3. And meanwhile, there's a pair of 22s, a 22 of Michael Farron, but there's also a 22 running in 2nd position. There is Mason Hannigan. The little hurricane closes up on Adam Elby. Elby opened up the door on the inside, and you've got a race down into turn 1 and 2 for the race lead.
Hannigan found something on that round through 3 and 4. Charging back to the inside is Elby, though. Looks like Hannigan going to try to run a similar line as he did last time there. Not as successful as Elby got it figured out there. Looks like 3 laps remaining. A huge slide job in 1 and 2. Mason Hannigan holding on, but here comes Elby back to the inside. A lot of trading positions, a lot of trading lines here in the closing stages of heat race number 3.
Just keep an eye on the 13 machine of Aidan Beerline. He absolutely rails the cushion, especially through 3 and 4. He's right up in the marbles, right upstairs, close to that wall. One little mistake could mean what happened, or what I seen happen to Ryan Villa. Now there goes Beerline with a slide job on Hannigan down into turn number 1 and 2. The white flag is out, Tyler.
Beerline holding his own here. He's going to have a dominant line in 3 and 4. Hannigan going to try to sweep it, and Beerline going to try to go to the inside. He does not get it, but he still has that transfer spot. Adam Elby is your heat race winner, with Hannigan finishing in 2nd. Aidan Beerline will settle for 3rd and final transfer spot. And it looks like David Allen on the outside looking in with Michael Farron, Justin Stoles, Timothy Smith, Alex Scherzinski, Ryan Shreves, Mel Dunn, and Gunnar Harris rounding out your field here for the 3rd and final heat race. So how about that? Things really unfolding there. Excellent position battles throughout the field, and especially that race for that 2nd position as we take a look at your 3rd heat race result. As I mentioned, Adam Elby going to move on and put himself in a pretty prominent position heading into the A-Main feature event here tonight.
Well, up next is your D-Main, the first of what will be 3 consolation races, 3 chances to advance some of the drivers to go into the from the D to the C, so from the C to the B, and then of course the B to the A. Ryan Avila and Mel Dunn will be in row number 1 in your D main. Gary Pepiat and Nathan Davis in row 2. Gunnar Harris and Eric Whitner in row 3, and Mr. Excitement JP Schreider will start from the 7th starting position. 2 drivers that are in this in the D main, World Championship drivers Eric Whitner and Ryan Avila. They've got a lot of work to do if they want to make it into tonight's main event.
Right, you are. So 4, I believe, will transfer out of this D main into the C. That has been the going rate. And then it'll be 4 from the C to the B. And then I believe it'll be 11 from the B to the A, same as last week. So Ryan Avila certainly the best sitter right now in terms of advancing into the C main, starting on the pole. Mel Dunn to his outside. Eric Whitner, tough break in this heat race. Seemed like he was going to be in a pretty prominent position, but getting caught up in the wrong place at the wrong time, and unfortunately now has to suffer due to that. But certainly a capable driver in his own right to make his way through the alphabet soup.
We'll see if Ryan Avila can do right of the wrongdoings of last night's cushion in 3 and 4. No doubt he would have learnt something from that one. Mel Dunn, who was having a decent run in the 360s towards the top 5 before disaster struck late in that race. Unfortunately, Mel Dunn night ended, I wouldn't say too early, but early enough in the main event. And Nathan Davis, looks like Nathan Davis had been given an end of line penalty, so maybe something happened in the heat race and now he's just getting penalised for, so he's got a lot of work to do as well. Gunnar Harris, we've seen in the last heat race, had some contact with Tim Smith before they got to the start finish line, so I don't think there's any real favourite other than probably Ryan Avila to lead us to the green.
Mel Dunn in the 23 car. We will see who it will be as the Chevy Silverado pace truck pulls itself in. Ryan Avila gets this D main underway, 10 laps of distance as he makes their way through turn 1 and 2. Mel Dunn in second, Pepiot holding on to third, and we've got a car up into the wall and going up and over. JP Scheiderer, Mr. Excitement himself, definitely not liking where he is currently.
Well, I told you I gave him that nickname last night, Mr. Excitement. He's not one to shy away from a bit of excitement and really put on a show for the fans. Is probably not the way he would have liked to have done that show, but we complete our second lap. It is still Ryan Avila, your race leader. Mel Dunn with a big slider line down into turn number 1 and 2, but Avila holds up and drives away nearly 4/10 of a second down into turn number 3. Keep an eye on the 47 of Garrett Pepiot. A lot of drivers, they'll start to use that cushion to their advantage, but it'll only be a matter of time before we probably get to maybe the back half of the C main or towards the first few laps of that B, where we'll start to see drivers try and work down low and try and find that moisture off turn number 4.
Looks like Gunnar Harris getting tied up into the fence as you kind of see it as the drivers make their way past. So Gunnar Harris out of contention now. So 5 drivers remain in this D main. 1 will be on the outside looking in. Nathan Davis currently on that mark. And we've got a car into the outside wall. Garrett Pepiot. Unbelievable. Just like that, as I make mention, Pepiot into the wall. Nathan Davis was on the outside looking in, but now holds that 4th and final transfer spot.
With what is 4 cars left on the racetrack course, Scheider already out of the event, back in the pits. Garrett Pepiot back in the pits, and Gunnar Harris you can still see stuck in the fence in turns number 1 and 2. He's now out of the event. He's been told to get up and pack up his stuff. He is no longer here for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series. Round number 6 of 12. I went through it last night, round 6. Now Ryan Avila has got some company with Mel Dunn with just a couple of laps left to run, Tyler.
Mel Dunn's been challenging for the past few laps now as Avila has been getting a little bit more consistent on that high line. As you made mention to a little bit ago, that cushion is gnarly, and these guys really got to be careful on how they approach it. As Avila now going to go to the inside line here as the white flag flies with 1 lap remaining. Looks like Mel Dunn going to have a nice run coming off the back, stretching into 3 and 4. Looks like Avila just trying to test the waters a little bit as the checkered flag will fly. Coming to it. What a move for Mel Dunn. He takes the win away from Ryan Avila at the line by 72 thousandths of a second. Eric Whitner comes across third. What a finish. Unbelievable. What a D main.
Yeah, well, like I said last night, as you would have seen last night, and as you just sort of mentioned, Ryan Avila, again, just testing the waters. And when you've got 4 cars on the racetrack, you're the race leader. It doesn't really matter whether and it'll all come back to if you want to start inside or outside. Because at the end of the day, it was, in fact, only the top 3 going through from that one. So Nathan Davis is going to miss out, along with Garrett Pepiot, Gunnar Harris, and JP Schreider. So it'll be Mel Dunn, Ryan Avila, and Eric Whitner, the 3 cars that will go into the C main, and your C main starting grid coming up.
Timothy Smith, we've made mention to him quite a few times here tonight. He starts on the pole for the C main with Brandon Veer starting to his outside. Starting in row number 2, starting third, Kenny Hoffman will with Alex Scherzinski to his outside in position 4. Row number 3 inside will be Ernie Williams Jr. to his outside, Ross Kaiser. Starting in the 7th spot, it'll be Randy Shreves with Jonathan Paquette starting in 8th. Mel Dunn starts to the inside of row number 5 with Ryan Avila starting in 10th and Eric Whitner starting in the 11th and final starting position. So as you said, only 3 cars transferring out of the D to the C, so a little bit tougher as if it wasn't tough enough already. We talk about tough. Timothy Smith, Alex Scherzinski, Shreves, Dunn, Williams Jr. What a C main we have on tap here tonight.
2 out of your 3 drivers that finished on the podium last night, Tim Smith and Randy Shreves, are now in the C main. Top 3 will go through to the back of the B. And then if we have a 20 car field, yeah, we'll take 11 from the B main into the A. And if it's obviously for 24 car field, we'll take the top 15. So for the drivers in this C main, it is crucial, very important for those drivers to finish inside the top 3. But again, there are just so many good drivers we see here week in, week out, night in and night out. Unfortunately, some of the good drivers do miss out. Some of the good drivers obviously continue on. And well, the World Championship drivers, they'll certainly elevate themselves to the top. We get ready for your C main.
Randy Savage said it best. The cream rises to the top as the green flag gets ready to fly here. Timothy Smith, excellent start. A little bit off the 8 ball. Therefore, I believe it was Shreves. Now the 4 car. That was
Brandon
not
Veers.
sure who that was. We have Brandon Veers. Okay, yep, Brandon Veers. So a little bit off the 8 ball there. As we say, that third position battle going on right now. A pair of 4s battling it out for 4 as we head through 1 and 2.
Yeah, that's Ross Kaiser in that purple and white number 4 machine down to the top. Well, up to the top side he goes. I'll wreck it, Ross Kaiser. He's gonna win it or wreck it. As there goes Brandon Veers into the concrete wall. Here comes Mel Dunn. Kenny Hoffman, Mel Dunn up to position number 5. But look at the run on the outside that Brandon Veers just got. And look at the three-way car, a three-way dance for positions 5, 6, and 7. Those drivers at the moment fighting for a spot that will not take him into the B main.
Yeah, but you got to work your way forward, and you got to battle for those spots as you're taking a look at it now. Alex Scherzinski up to 4th. Alex Scherzinski, Ross Kaiser battling it up. Ernie Williams Jr., where'd he come from? He makes hard contact with the outside wall, but he doesn't lose much, if any, momentum, as Alex Scherzinski now 1 spot ahead of him. Ross Kaiser 4th. Kenny Hoffman is Kaiser. Oh, hard into the outside wall. Terrific crash over in turn 4. So that'll pretty much put an end to Ross Kaiser's night. We stay rolling here halfway through the C main.
That was just Ryan Avila 2.0. Kenny Hoffman with a big move, big slider down on Ernie Williams Jr. Kenny Hoffman and Williams, they'll make a little contact, left rear to right front. Probably just more of a racing deal at the moment, but Kenny Hoffman in front of Ernie Williams Jr. And then you go back to Ryan Avila, who sits in position number 5, 2 spots out of a transfer into the B main with just 5 laps left to run. You're looking at probably half a second as now Ernie Williams Jr. tries to make a run on the outside of Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman still holding on to the 3rd and final transfer position.
As if Brandon Veers' night couldn't get any worse in this C main. A bad start to start, make heavy contact with the outside wall. He is running in the 10th spot, but pretty much is out of contention as he now enters the pit. So 9 cars still on the lead lap as we roll here on lap number 10. Timothy Smith still your leader. Alex Scherzinski still holding on, but he makes contact. We've got chaos all over the racetrack. Unbelievable. And now Ryan Avila, Tim and Ernie Williams Jr. battling it out for that 2nd spot. These cars will transfer if they can hold on with 2 more laps to go.
That is unbelievable. Kenny Hoffman and Alex Scherzinski had some contact on the front straight. It took the drivers in 2nd and 3rd spot out of this C main. And now with Ryan Avila, Ernie Williams Jr., those 2 drivers are just sitting back there in 4th position. And they were thinking, well, their nights are pretty much done and dust because they were 6, 7/10 of a second behind the drivers in 3rd place. But it won't matter because Tim Smith's going to be dominant victor here in a C main competition. Ryan Avila from position number 10, 2nd in the D main, to now 2nd in the D. He's going to transfer along with Ernie Williams Jr. And how about that? Ryan Avila, Ernie Williams Jr., they go from the outside looking in to potentially ending their night early to now getting those 2 out of the 3 transfer positions.
Unbelievable. So Timothy Smith, your winner once again. Avila 2nd, Williams Jr. 3rd, Mel Dunn 4th, Eric Whitner 5th, Shreve 6th, Scherzinski 7th, Hoffman 8th, Paquette 9th, Veers 10th, and Ross Kaiser being credited with the 11th finishing position. So we move on to the B main now. Braden Eiler starts on the pole of this one with Clayton Tilley to his outside. David Allen will start inside row 2 with Blake Giglio to his outside in 4th. Merrill Gehring the 4th will start 5th with Michael Farron starting 6th. Lane Snook will start 7th. Andrew Allen to his outside, starting in 8th. Starting in 9th, inside row 5 will be Justin Stoles with Chase Wolf starting in the 10th spot. Kenny Miller will start 11th with Timothy Smith to his outside, starting in 12th. Starting in the 13th spot, it will be Ryan Avila. Starting 14th will be Ernie Williams Jr., and that will complete your 14-car starting grid here for the B main here in the Apex Autoglass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Championship Series. Plenty to look for here in this B main. 11 cars going to transfer out into the feature event. And this could be a feature in pretty much any realm if we take a really good look at it.
Clayton Tilley, Braden Isler, again, 2 drivers have already been on the pro circuit. David Allen has been on the pro circuit before. Blake Giglio going to make his pro circuit debut. Then you go back and take a look at the likes of Tim Smith, Ernie Williams Jr. Both drivers have been on the Pro Tour, the World Championship Tour. Ryan Avila gets his chance. And again, Ryan Avila has come from the D main to the C, now to the B. All he's got to do at this stage, if we take 11 cars, he's only got to pick up what is essentially 2 spots.
More than possible. More than possible. That makes you kind of wonder about some of the names that we don't mention on a frequent basis. Your Andrew Allens, your Michael Farrens, your Chase Wolves. Do they take the most of this opportunity? Do they work their way forward? Do they make a name for themselves here tonight?
Well, there's an opportunity for everybody. And, well, the opportunity is now. Your B main, Braden Isler in that Elvis Up Sim Sports number 5 machine will lead us to the green flag, but we are immediately going to go yellow, and I don't think Race Control was all too happy on that start.
Yeah, it looked a little bit different than what we've been seeing here throughout the course of the evening, so Race Control calling this one back. Sure, we will find out in post-race what that was for, but nonetheless, yellow flag flies. We're going to try this all over again. Sure, whoever the driver was getting a warning before making any sort of decisions.
It should be your pulsar to Braden Isler.
I would think so, right. Yeah, I would think so.
Because no one else can go until that pulsar goes, and obviously we are just assuming here. Again, obviously just got to let the pace car. I know, listening into the drivers' briefing last night before going live, it was told to the drivers to give the pace car at least 5 to 10 seconds leeway, because if you're too close to the pace car, the green flag will actually fly before the leader gets to fire. So they give the pace car an opportunity to dive down to the inside of the racetrack, go back to the pits, and then it's in the hands of the race leader. So I dare say that's what the yellow was brought back for. So we'll go back to a complete restart, although we're going to technically lose 1 lap out of that one. So there's now going to be shortened down to a 13-lap B main.
About to see something there that you don't see in real life. Sprint cars stopping and starting on their own power. The wonders of iRacing as we see here. The virtual Volusia Speedway Park in Volusia County, Florida. Just got rocked with a hurricane twice within a matter of 40 days of one another. So no hurricanes here tonight except for the little hurricane, Mason Hannigan. Perhaps a welcomed hurricane at that. Probably the only welcomed hurricane in history besides maybe his father.
Yes, they're doubling up on hurricanes as well.
Yeah. Well, hurricanes are multiplying as the pace truck pulls in. Green flag is out. That one looked a little bit better. Braden Isler takes off in the green flag waves once again here in this B main. David Allen holding on to second. Clayton Tilley battling back to the outside with Blake Giglio battling for the 4th spot. And we've got a battle for 5th. 2 cars battling and jockeying for position early in this B main.
Well, keep an eye on Ryan Avila coming through the field. We're seeing in the D main, he tried the bottom side where it ended up losing the race win, but probably, again, like you said, probably just testing the waters. We've got Blake Giglio trying to come back to the middle of the racetrack, tries to go to the inside. I think that's Clayton Tilley hunting into the concrete wall. There was contact with the 16 of Giglio. I think Clayton Tilley may have come down the racetrack already. Chase Wolf, Andrew Allen out of the event. Now Clayton Tilley finds himself also back in the pit area, so 11 cars left on the racetrack, which should mean the 11 cars that will transfer into tonight's main event.
The Stoles just has to keep it rolling as we stay going here. 4 laps complete. Now 5 laps complete, 9 laps remaining. Isler still your leader with Kenny Miller in second. You see a position battle there. A few of them going on still as we got a 22 car charging to the outside. Looks like Lane Snook is there. Yep, there it is. Creed Sim Racing represent in the position number 7. Timothy Smith battling. He is trying to advance up from the C main win here just a moment ago. Merrill Gehring, the 4th in the 6th car, so running in position number 6 right now ahead of him. What a move there for Timothy Smith here halfway through the B main.
Yeah, just really interesting to see Tim Smith actually go back, or he went down to the bottom side for an entire lap. Maybe just seeing if his setup is going to work down there. And now, of course, now going back to what was working for him last night in the 360 series, and that was banging the cushion, banging the boards here at Volusia. We go back up further, a little front of the field. Ryan Avila looking to the inside on David Allen. They work side by side. There is the 23 of Justin Stoles getting put a lap down, although he's the 11th car on the racetrack. How about Ryan Avila from your D main, second in that one and then transferring to the C, started second last row, finished second in that one. Now he's up to position number 4. He's going to start mid-pack of the A main, and that's not bad considering that he was locked in a D main.
It's true, and even if he finishes 11th, that is a huge detriment there. You're starting 20th in a stacked A main feature event. Now working his way forward, using this to his advantage. And as you said, starting mid-pack is a lot better than starting in the rear. Giglio making contact with the outside wall there, able to keep it rolling. He has the 01 of David Allen to his outside there in position 4. Ryan Avila trying to work around multiple lines of the racetrack. You see a move there for the third spot. David Allen moving up now as he moves the inside. Giglio now going to get challenged by Avila. Avila making that inside work as we come into the closing laps of this B main.
Yeah, starting to see a lot of drivers running through the middle part of the racetrack, running right through the slick, the old Donny Schatz line. But there is some loose dirt down there, I can tell you. I've actually, about 3 seasons ago, when the World Championship qualifying series on, I actually was running the qualifying series, and it was, I think it was close to a 6,000 strength of field, something you see every day. And the track was getting like this. You actually run right through the slick, and it actually it's a lot faster. So right where Blake Giglio runs, just in fact Ryan Avila goes, you can see there's loose dirt. Have a look at that. Tim Smith out of nowhere just came up to finish 5th. Wow.
Yeah, that was impressive. You just saw it in 3 and 4, how he just held it to the high side, and he seems like he may have gotten something figured out. Not sure if fuel burn off was helping his car's handling, but looks like he may have something heading into the A main as we take a look at the B main finish here for the Apex Autoglass and Tinting 410 Sprint Cars. Braden Eiler will start 10th here tonight in the A main feature event. Kenny Miller will finish 2nd. David Allen 3rd. Giglio 4th. Timothy Smith 5th. Avila, Gehring, Snook, Farron, Williams make up your top 10. Stoles is your final transfer car. Tilly, Allen, and Wolf will have to pack it up, head home, load up the car into the virtual trailer, as now warm-ups are underway before we head into tonight's A main feature event. We will head to a break, play some sponsors here, and enjoy the music while we wait and while we see the drivers warm up here. We will rejoin the broadcast here when the A main is ready to roll. Stay tuned. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. 40 laps of distance here tonight for the A main feature event in the Apex Auto Glass and Window Tinting 410 Sprint Cars. We will go through your starting lineup, working from the back to the front. Justin Stoll starts on position number 20 in the 23 car, the Up North Esports team, with Ernie Williams Jr. to his inside, starting in 19th. Michael Farron will start 18th, with Lane Snook to his inside, starting in the 17th starting position. Merle Gehring the 4th. We'll start 16th with Ryan Avila starting in position 15. Timothy Smith making the outside of row number 7. And Blake Giglio will start inside of him in 13th. David Allen will start 12th with Kenny Miller starting in position number 11. Outside of row number 5, starting 10th, will be Braden Eiler. And in 9th, Aiden Beerline out of the United States of America. Starting 8th here tonight, outside row number 4, Braden Finsel, and James Edens to his inside in 7th starting position. Mason Hannigan, the Little Hurricane, will start 6th, and Tanner Pettit to the inside of row number 3 in 5th. Bryce Lucius will start 4th here tonight with Adam Elby to his inside in the 3rd starting position. And your front row starters here in the Elbows Up Sim Sports number 85, that will be Tyler Schell, and Aiden Forrester will start on the pole here tonight for the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Sprint Cars. A huge stack field here tonight. Over half of the drivers in attendance are Pro Card qualifiers for the World of Outlaws Sprint Car Esports League, and we will see which of them, as we made mention to earlier, will rise to the top. The cream always rises to the top. Tell you what, out of all of the creams, I would say James Edens has been one of the most successful of them. He starts 7th here tonight, and I think he may have a fair shot at this one. But man, is he... we can't say it enough. It's just so difficult to win an Apex race, and we'll see if he can do it here and make it a three-peat on the year.
Don't count out the Apex most winningest driver, Tyler Schell. Your points leader coming into tonight, Mason Hannigan. As you said, James Eden. There's Aiden Beerline. You go to last night's feature winner, Tim Smith. Again, from top to bottom, 19 cars. Ernie Williams Jr., the only driver not to make the start of tonight's main event. But it's time to get naughty for 40. Tyler Harris, we're green.
We are green. Aiden Forrester with a good start going into turns 1 and 2. Chooses the low side here, so that's an interesting mood. Adam Elby holding on to position number 2 with Shell in 3rd. Mason Hannigan, the meat and the sandwich, that back there for that 4th position battle. Car going way up high. That's Bryce Lucius here, the Little Hurricane, making his move early in position 4.
Now, Shell and Elby made a bit of contact. Now, Elby going to get the inside working over from Mason Hannigan. Elby through the middle. Hannigan looks to slide up again. These two drivers, no strangers to running against one another. They'll do so in the World Championships coming up in a couple of weeks' time, but don't worry about that. We got an Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Cars on tap for tonight. James Edens goes back to the cushion down into turn number 3 and 4. Aiden Forster. We heard the jubilation from Ryan Avila a couple of weeks ago when he won at Cedar Lake Speedway. Imagine what this would do to Aiden Forster.
Ryan Avila in position number 13. He's got some work for him here, but we are still early here with 35 laps remaining. We see a move here to the outside. That is Tyler Schell. Now your leader, Force, are going to try to battle back to the inside, or to the outside rather. He looks like he has a dominant line, but still some moisture down low makes it ultra competitive. Man, the gap of the line was closed. Tyler Schell leads here on lap number 6.
Yeah, I actually spoke to Aiden Force that in the top split win in the final week of the World Championship Pro Qualifiers. He actually picked up the win, 6,000 strength to field victory, and he was very pumped about that one. So he might be one to watch in the World Championships, but right now he'll be one to watch in the A-Main tonight. There's the 74 machine, the Swindell Speed Lab. Bear Archery entry of Adam Elby goes back to the inside. Look at James Eden now going to make it 3 wide with Mason Hannigan, the Little Hurricane. They'll making up a storm down on the low side.
Bryce Lucius falls back to the 8th spot, but still certainly well in contention here as we take a look back further in the field. You see a car going way up high there. I believe that might be Aiden Beerline as the yellow now flies on lap number 9. And I'm sure we will head to the instant replay to see what the cause of that was. There it is. Looks like Braden Eiler started in position number 10 here tonight, as he was your B-Main winner and just got a little too up high over that cushion and comes to a stop over in turn number 4, bringing out the first caution of the evening in the A-Main feature event. So Braden Eiler, the guilty party, he's going to go ahead and tag the field when we return to green.
He done very well, and so do the rest of the drivers to not hit him. Like, there was half the field coming at him just then, and to not get hit by any of those drivers, a testament to being aware of your surroundings. You know, when you're spinning out like that, because you know most people, people just sometimes they hold the brake, or some guys like to just mash the throttle and just stay in it and just drive anywhere, and could take a bunch of people out. So for Aiden Eiler to not drive into anybody after being spun out, but also the drivers that were coming through to not get into the side of him, just goes to show you they're all paying attention. They're all alert as to what is going on around them.
Absolutely a veteran maneuver there. Brings a little bit of realism to esports. You would see it in real life. You see it here in iRacing. So kudos to Braden Eiler making the right call there to lock it up and move on to see another day. As we will rejoin the front of the field here, Tyler Schell, your leader, with Adam Elby silently running in the second spot. Mason Hannigan third. Aiden Forster dropping to fourth there prior to the caution flying. James Eden's up to fifth now. Tanner Pettit, Aiden Beerline, Bryce Lucius falling back just a little bit, but still well in contention. Kenny Miller and Braden Finsel round out your top 10. Not a whole lot of movers moving forward to this point, Brett, but still early in this one. We've got 30 laps to call it.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to talk, but turns out I've actually got to move my microphone to unlock it. So again, you can just see on board with Adam Elby right now. We'll see what he can do. There is Mason Hannigan, the little hurricane. We'll see what he can do in this main event. As again, we wait for Tyler Schell to get us back underway. Right now, there is Adam Elby to the right-hand side of Mason Hannigan, the Black Diamond Motorsports entry. We go yellow very quickly once again.
Yeah, looks like race control not happy with the start there. At least I believe. It looks like everybody's still in running order and up to pace. So we'll take a look at the replay here to see if I am correct or if I am mistaken. Looks like I might be mistaken. We take a look at Ryan Avila here on the restart. Oh, yeah. Oh, boy, was I wrong. Yeah, we've got some cars. Forster, one of them. Gehring getting caught up in it. Ryan Avila also with nowhere to go. So a couple cars getting caught up in that one. Unfortunate turn of events there for Forster, as he looked to be in a predominant position. Looked like the 52 of Eden's kind of moving up the line there, and Forster with really nowhere to go, but trying to make the most of the situation that was presented to him. Unfortunately, wrong place, wrong time.
Yeah, you've got a feel for Aiden Forster. Quick time tonight, picked up a heat race victory. I'm pretty sure he went quick time. He did. He went quick time. One heat one.
He did. Yep.
And now, unfortunately, he's back in the pits. And what I seen on Monday night with the World Championships Pro Qualifying Series, he actually took out, like I said, that main event, which basically cemented himself into the iRacing World Championships. Now, you obviously hear us talk on about that for over the next couple of weeks and throughout the course of the season, because a lot of these drivers that you see here in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting are World Championship drivers that will compete in the World Championship or are former drivers, and just goes to show you why this is one of the best, or if not the best, 410 league that you'll see here on the iRacing.com service.
Right you are. We take a look at the top four right now. You have Elby, Schell, Hannigan, and Lucius. There he is. He was running 8th, now back up to 4th, making the most of that, as we are 10 laps in, 30 laps remaining here tonight. Aiden Beerline, Finsel making up row number 3, Giglio and Miller row number 4. Timothy Smith now making his way forward as the green flag flies. Green is out. Looks like a better restart here. Looks a little bit more organized back in the field. Mason Hannigan trying to poke that nose in front of Tyler Schell, just not able to do it. He gets rolling down the backstretch. We say going here with Tyler Schell leading the way.
Look at Bryce Lucius round the top side and gets 2 for the price of 1 in the space of a lap. You just see the cushion build up on the outside of the racetrack in turns 1 and 2. It's pretty much the same in turns 3 and 4. So if you game it up to lean your right rear on the cushion, one car going hard into the concrete. I think that might be James Edens in the 52 machine. And boy, oh boy, Tanner Pettit involved in that one as well. And it is real busy right now just outside the top 5. Got
to keep your nose clean if you want to move your way forward as the yellow flies. There it is. Timothy Smith was making his way forward there. You see a couple cars stopped on the front stretch as the pace truck makes its way out. Timothy Smith now up to the 7th spot. We'll take a look at the Nick Leinert Racing Association replay. And there's that first mistake there. Braden Finsel had a strong run going for him. Aiden's nowhere to go. Unfortunately, Forrester getting a little collected there and up over the right rear. And that was what inevitably brought out the caution. So tough break, man. Forrester just unfortunately can't catch a break here tonight. Was able to rejoin the field after that last caution. But this one is definitely going to tug on the heartstrings a little bit if you're a Forrester fan.
I'll go back and look at that Braden Finsel one, because for the drivers or for the people that weren't watching last night, that right there is what sent Ryan Avila out of the ballpark. And how many, like, we've already seen it probably 3 or 4 times tonight where drivers, you know, they live and die by the cushion. They want to get up there. It's so powerful. It's just an awesome experience just to get on and just hit that cushion right. And the speed that you get from hitting the cushion can bite you. And speaking of Ryan Avila, he's out. He's back in the pit area. Yes, he is. He's back in the pit area along with Aiden Forster, Tanner Pettit, James Eden, Braden Finsel. Also back in the pit area, of course, Ernie Williams Jr. out before we even went green at the start of this one. So not sure what happened to that 91 machine. But lights are out. We're ready for a start once again this time.
Tyler Schell still your leader here. 14 laps complete. Bryce Lucius to his outside. Adam Elby third. Little Hurricane Mason Hennigan in 4th. Aiden Beerline up to 5th now with Blake Giglio advancing a few positions to the 6th spot. Eyes are still on Timothy Smith. Braden Eiler working his way back forward after an early caution. He's up to position number 11, so keep your eyes on Braden Eiler. As the pace truck does pull in, we are going to go green once again. Tyler Schell leaves the field. Bryce Lucius not far off. Looks like he may have a good start and have a good run on the high side here in 1 and 2.
Well, it was quick before that yellow come out on the top side of the racetrack, and he might just be one to watch as we close in on half race distance. Oh, look out, Lucius in front of the field. Oh my. And I spoke about living and dying by the cushion, and that is exactly why that sometimes you just don't want to be upstairs.
Yeah, that was a tough break. It looked like it might be a predominant line. At first, it looked like it was going to hook, but then it just took a ride of its own. It was like riding a bull. It's like riding a bull. You live and die by the bull as we take a look at the replay. Most of you already saw it on your screen, but in case you looked away, here it is. Looked like it might hook there for a second, then he made contact with that outside wall, and that sent him flying. Fortunately, nobody else really getting collected in that, surprisingly, especially for where he was at on the track. And we'll take a look at the front nose there and how it all happened from roughly his perspective.
You getting dizzy?
Tough break for... Yeah, really, right? Goodness gracious. Man, tough break for Lucius. Definitely had a winning car, at least it seemed like, in the early stages of this feature event. Now, going to have his work cut out for him if he can make it back at all. My guess is he probably won't. So that might just do it for him as we have 24 laps remaining here tonight.
So we're looking at, you were speaking about the points earlier on in the night. Obviously, you said Mason Hannigan, points leader coming into tonight. A top 5 would certainly go a long way in helping retain that lead at the halfway stage. Who are the other drivers that were sort of top 5 around him that are in this feature event?
Aiden Beerline certainly making a good case for himself. He currently sits 4th in points and 4th in this feature right now, so keep your eye on Aiden Beerline. A couple drivers aren't with us. Evan Say, Logan Ramsey, 2nd and 3rd in points, not here tonight. James Edens in 5th is currently running in position number 15. Tanner Pettit, Aiden Forster, Timothy Smith, Tyler Schell is in 9th in points, your current leader here, and Dylan Yeager, not with us, rounds out your top 10 in points. So got a few drivers certainly look out for. Pettit not able to make the race. Aiden Forster, a tough night here for him.
Pettit's
able to make the show.
Pettit's just come back out onto the racetrack. He's in 17th position.
Okay, there he goes. So there you go. Yep, green flag will fly here. It is back out. Tyler Schell off to a good start. Single file restart here. Adam Elby now following nose to tail tank down the backstretch they go. Aiden Beerline up to 3rd, and we see Timothy Smith He has been on a charge, ladies and gentlemen. He is not done now. Lap number 18, Timothy Smith up to 4th.
Well, 16 in the books, 24 to go, and the yellow flag flies. And these cautions, they're probably helping Tim Smith right now because he's sort of picking off 1-2 cars every lap. And he started 14th, and we spoke about towards the end of that B main run on where he was able just to come from basically out of nowhere to get himself a top 5 in that B main. Now he's got himself in the top 5 of this main event. Again, last night's feature winner. He knows what to do. We know, and for the drivers that weren't here last night, and we only had, I think, 20 cars last night. We've got 35 here tonight. So the track is playing out the same. He's got that experience. He's got that knowledge. Everybody knows how the track plays out, but he's got that knowledge with the setup when it comes to what is going to work on the cushion. Whereas a lot of drivers, you see, they're sort of skeptical. They're really scared to go up there. They're staying in the mid-track, and they're trying to keep trying to use that throttle control to their advantage. Where Tim Smith, he's just pounding the cushion and staying in the gas.
Yeah, that's just experience too. If you're comfortable, go ahead and use it, but you gotta be careful. You gotta watch yourself. Maybe save it till the end when it matters. But Timothy Smith knows that he's got to work and use it to his advantage while he has it, and he has done just that to this point. You take a look at Mason Hannigan there in the 22 car in your 4th spot. Braden Eiler is making his way forward. He is up to 8th now. Still plenty of racing left here as the green flag get ready to fly as it does now. Tyler Schell off to the races, literally, as Aiden Beerline going to peek to the inside here through 1 and 2 on Adam Elby. Little Hurricane Mason Hannigan now going to have a nice run going down the backstretch. 3 cars battling their way through for 3rd.
Well, Hannigan drove around the outside of Beerline, and as did Tim Smith. So Aiden Beerline, he's now opted to go back to the top in turn number 1 and 2, where he was running the bottom side all through the middle. He's now going to follow maybe Tim Smith. We'll see what Aiden Beerline does. See if he feels confident enough to go upstairs. Keep an eye on that 86 machine of Timothy Smith again. It's the cushion in turn number 1. He'll roll the cushion through turn 2. He'll drive around to the outside of the 22 of Mason Hannigan. And here comes the 86. Will he double down on feature wins? A winner last night in the Next Level Racing 360 Wing Sprint Car Series. Can he do it in the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410s? Boy, oh boy, he's got a real hot run at the moment. 20 down and 20 to go.
You wanted a master class on how to run a cushion. Look no further than that 86 car. Timothy Smith now making his move on LB for 2nd. He's got it at the line, I believe, as he now has it coming down the backstretch now. Timothy Smith now up to 2nd, and he's got 1 car to focus on ahead of him. He's got to keep the other 2 behind him. LB and Hannigan battling it out for 3rd now. Mason Hannigan going to go through the middle. LB a couple lines lower. Looks like 1 line lower there. LB not going away just yet, Brett, but Timothy Smith definitely the dominant car here. We'll see how he's going to measure up to Tyler Schell as he starts to close in.
In 3 and 4 on the previous lap, he was 1.1 second. 3 and 4 there on the previous lap, 8.5 tenths of a second. It is 2 to 3 tenths of a second quicker right now than Tyler Schell. Schell runs somewhat of a mini slider line, although that was actually working for him, but Tim Smith nearly gets it down to 7 tenths of a second. Meanwhile, there's a battle on for 3rd and 4th. Once again, Hannigan to the inside on Adam Elby. Elby back to the outside. Will he shut the door down into turn number 3? Yes, he does. He'll now attempt to run that slot line, trying to grab the cushion on the exit of turn number 4. As again, we keep an eye on that gap between Tim Smith and Tyler Schell, but we stay focused on the battle between Adam Elby and Mason Hannigan.
Don't look now, Braden Eiler getting around Aiden Beerline there temporarily as those 2 cars battle for that 5th position. Braden Eiler to the outs, or Braden Eiler to the inside rather. Beerline to the outside. Eiler now with a move, gets a slide job, but Beerline with the crossover maneuver back down the backstretch and into turn 3. Ice holding his line. It looks like Eiler going to go back to the inside. Blake Giglia with the best seat in the house here on lap number 28. That position battle for 5th.
Yeah, Eiler and Beerline, great showing here in your A main towards the back half of this feature event. 12 laps left to run. The gap is still 8 tenths of a second. Tyler Schell over Timothy Smith, Mason Hannigan, and Adam Elby. Again, they were having a great battle for positions 3 and 4. Mason Hannigan gets the better of those 2. And meanwhile, Braden Eiler has got the better of that battle with Aiden Beerline, Blake Igler, Kenny Miller, Justin Soldier. Hard charger tonight so far from dead last, 20th position up to position number 9. That's plus 11 spots. And how about Lane Snook as well? Plus 7. In fact, Tim Smith's plus 12.
Yeah, if you're Justin Stoles, you got to be pleased with this run here as we have 9 laps remaining here tonight. Tyler Schell still your leader. We take a look at Blake Giglio, Aiden Bierlein, and Braden Eiler. Those cars doing battle for a top 5 or a potential top 5 finish here with 8 laps remaining. Eiler definitely getting up on that high line. He looks comfortable up there for now. We'll see if it turns out to bite him or if he's able to keep it tame. Mason Hannigan now up to 3rd spot, final podium spot. You take a look there as he's starting to separate himself from LB. We're trying to see if Timothy Smith is kind of holding on, saving what he's got for Tyler Schell, or if Schell is just that lights out here tonight. 7 laps, now 6 laps remaining as he makes the way through turn 4 down to the front stretch across the line. Brett, 6 laps remain. What's it going to be? Is it going to be the Tyler Schell show once again, or is it Timothy Smith going to pull off another shocker and make a move here late in this race?
I think Tyler Schell's, all barring a yellow, I think Tyler Schell's got this one wrapped up in the bag. Tim Smith hasn't been able to gain in. In fact, he's lost 3-4. He's nearly lost half a second over the last sort of 3 or 4 laps. Maybe that top side of the racetrack just fading just a little too much to the middle part of the racetrack goes Tyler Schell. Meanwhile, Braden Eiler has gotten by Adam Elby for that 4th spot on the racetrack. Then Blake Giglio now battles with Aiden Bierlein and Kenny Miller in the 23 machine. Bierlein into the cushion a number of times. You see that car get tied. I wonder if they're starting to get a little bit of right side damage on that 13 machine of Aiden Bierlein.
There's a lap car in front of Tyler Schell there temporarily. Looks like he may have to make some sort of maneuver to get around him. They were running similar lines, but it looks like he has done so effectively here with 4 laps remaining. Now 3 laps remaining here. You take a look at Aiden Bierlein. He is having a tough time running that cushion right now. As you see, car trying to get it by him. That's Kenny Miller in the 8 car, or rather the 23 car, trying to work to his inside. Speaking of the other 23, that is Aiden Bierlein.
Justin
Or the
Stoles.
13 at Bierlein, Justin Stoles, rather, in position number 9. Tough battles here in the closing laps of this A main.
Yeah, James Edens, who's had to make his way back through this field after getting involved in an incident, but it won't matter because Tyler Schell has already made his way through turn number 1 and 2 and down the back straight away for the final time. The Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Winged Sprint Car Series. Your main event victor is going to go to Tyler Schell, victorious here, and the dominating performance by the 85. Timothy Smith home in 2nd, Mason Hannigan 3rd, Braden Eiler and Adam Elby go 4 and 5. Blake Giglio home in 6th. Kenny Miller 7th over Aiden Bierlein 8th. Justin Stoles in 9th. James Edens rounds out your top 10. And of course, those results are unofficial until we do bring them up on your screen, which will be coming up right now. So home in 11th position is Lane Snook, David Allen, Michael Farron in 13th, Mel Garling. The 4th in 14th, Aiden Forster. 15th, Tanner Pettit in 16th. Ryan Avila, Bryce Lucius, Braden Finsel, the 19 cars to take to the racetrack in the main event, and Ernie Williams Jr., credited with a 20th place finish, did not start this main event. Well, it was all the Tyler Schell show here at Volusia for the 410s.
That it was. And it looked like Timothy Smith may have had something for him there. We'll talk in the interviews here with Timothy Smith and, of course, your race winner to see how they felt about their respective cars. Mason Hannigan has been consistent to this point of this season, and that is the main reason why he is your points leader. Excited to talk to these drivers here.
I think we are just waiting for the drivers to get out of the virtual race cars and join us here down in Victory Lane. But, I mean, overall, a pretty good showing for these drivers. Took a little bit to get going there, Tyler, but I mean, at the end of the day, we went, I think about 18, 20 laps of that green flag for the back half of that feature.
Yeah, it's not too often that you, in this instance, you kind of hope for some of those cautions, especially if you're a Timothy Smith, because that's where it seemed that he really made his gains in this show, and it did create for a lot of excitement. Those restarts did create a lot of excitement, so we will talk to some of our race winners here, our podium finishers. Who do we got up first here, Brett?
We got Tyler Schell. Tyler, congratulations on the victory. And well, I got to say, your car, the last 10 laps really come on strong there. And again, that bottom side was working for you. You must be happy with the victory.
Yeah, for sure. Never had a car I feel like that good through the middle there before. We really hit it on something, and hopefully we can lead on into Pro Series with it.
You had a lap car there in front of you at toward the end of the race there. Looked like he was running a very similar line to you, but your car was dominant. Looked like you could kind of put it anywhere. Did you feel comfortable running that top line if you had to, or were you really dominant on the low line, middle line, and is that where you preferred?
Yeah, I prefer just to run the middle or lane off. I wasn't touching the cushion. I told them before the race if I get 15th, that's okay. I'm not touching that. That looks like death, and pretty much everybody that went up there at least died once.
Well, Tyler, congratulations on the win. Dominating performance, like we said before we let you go, of course, sponsor on this race car, people behind the scenes, mate, who makes this happen for you.
Yeah, just like to thank everybody who puts the league on. You guys for taking time to broadcast it, and then Lowe's Up Sim Sport, and then More Than Tires, Anderson Speedway, Rivco, and Coach Fence Apparel. And good second Timmy, and good third to Mason.
All right, there we go. Tyler Shell, your winner here tonight. Tyler Harris, you caught up with our runner-up finisher of Tim Smith.
Yeah, Timothy Smith, congratulations on a second place run. You had your work cut out for you here tonight, making your way through the soup, making your way through the B main, a less than desirable starting position. You work your way up to the second spot. How did you think your car felt? It looked great, especially on those restarts.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Just can't thank my guys for enough putting this car together. We just had a couple of incidents in the heat race there we need to work on to not get ourselves that bad a starting spot. But the car felt good and Shell was fast, so just ran out of time, I feel like. But overall, feel like it's a good night.
What did you learn from last night's 360 win? Because the track looked like it played out very similar to what it did here tonight in the 410s. What did you learn from last night that you've applied here tonight in the 410s?
Well, I would have used my last lap knowledge there if there's a yellow there, but unfortunately that didn't happen. But no, the track actually ended up quite similar, surprisingly. I figured it'd be a little bit different, but, top I felt like was still pretty fast. The cushion was meaty and bottom still was pretty good. So overall it was 2 lanes of racing there. But just like I said, can't thank my guys enough for helping me out.
Only a few drivers really tried that high line there, Timmy, and it seemed like you were probably the most effective at running it. What do you credit that toward?
Just a lot of dedication, a lot of test servers, and so far I've been turning like 500 practice laps by myself, just learning the racetrack. I feel like I know this place forwards and backwards now.
Definitely a positive points run for you here tonight. People that you'd like to thank for making this all happen for you this season.
Yeah, for sure. We got Tiger Towing, BPM, TSR, Automotive Specialist, Colton Crane Racing, Napa Miller Auto Supply, 129 Racing, TP Designs, and M9 Performance.
There you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Your second place finisher here tonight, Timothy Smith. We move on to the third place finisher, Little Hurricane himself, Mason Hannigan. Mason, you have put together a very consistent season to this point. You've got to be happy with not only that, but your run here tonight.
Yeah, for sure. I felt like we could have been a little better. Restarts just weren't very good at all. I kind of am sleeping on 9 out of 10 of them there, and yeah, just was able to pick off a couple cars there, and kind of got stuck in a few spots I didn't want to get stuck in because of the caution. Had to give up a spot or two, and then got it back, and just ended up third. Yeah, we've been really consistent this year, and I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously I'd like to pick off a win, but sometimes it's not about winning if you can't just finish the race and finish top 5, but we've done a pretty good job of that all season. And yeah, I'm looking to continue that through the rest of the season as well.
And how difficult was it to come here tonight and put this car on a podium? Week in and week out, we see former pro drivers, current pro drivers, soon to be pro drivers, which now we have those pro drivers. How tough is it each and every week to come out here and not only hold on to a points lead, but to continually find yourself at that pointy end of the field?
Just staying out of trouble, I think, is one of them. Qualifying good, get through heat, and once it slicks off, I get to the point where I can figure out what I need to do and where I need to run at sometimes. And the slick track stuff's I love when it's slick. So yeah, we've been good every time it's been slick, and that's every track this year. So yeah, we'll continue it, and all the pro guys here. I mean, there's 15 of them throughout the field, I'm pretty sure, and it's just it kind of helps you before going into pro, it helps you understand where you rank at, and obviously there's some of them that aren't in here that are obviously pretty fast. So yeah, it definitely helps with setups, and definitely just gets you where you need to be for pro.
There is no I in team, so people that you would like to thank for making this campaign a success.
Yeah, all the boys at Black Diamond for sure, and yeah, UDTV, Brett, Tim Sims, Velocity Race Designs. I can't thank Ross enough for doing all of our paints, and he's done a hell of a job. And I can't thank Faz Eyewear and all the boys at Apex, Sparky, Leon, and yeah, I can't thank you guys for broadcasting it. And yeah, well, we won't be back next week, but hopefully here in 2 weeks we'll be standing on hopefully the top step of the podium.
I gotta ask you, where are you next week?
Thanksgiving, week off.
Oh, yeah, so I seen that. I was just seeing if you were paying attention.
Yeah, I was paying attention. Come on, you can't test me.
I can.
He's got turkey on the mind, baby.
Yeah. Yeah, look, there's no I in team, but there's an I in Black Diamond, right? Yeah, I love screwing with little Mason. He's so cool.
That was your third and final podium finisher, Mason Hannigan. So tell you what, talk about padding your points lead. He has done that here tonight, so nothing to shake your head at a third place finish. Of course, a win would be desirable, but nonetheless, you've got to appreciate a solid points run as we have now gotten to that halfway point of this 12-week season. We will see how the second half rolls. It has been a wonderful night here at Volusia. Brett, some final thoughts before we kick things off, or rather finish things off here tonight.
Just, again, phenomenal racing over the past 2 nights with the Next Level Racing 360s last night, and of course here with the Apex Auto Guys and Tinting 410 Sprint Car. Again, it's just amazing to see how these drivers were able to adapt to the slick conditions, and how we've seen Tyler Shell here, how he was able to run right through the slick. That throttle control was amazing, but then you throw the other end of the racetrack, from the bottom to the top, how Tim Smith was able to do it not once, but 2 nights in a row, how he was able to survive the cushion of death here at Volusia. So well done to all the drivers.
The Gator bites, and it did not bite him tonight. A solid run, not only for him, but Mason Hannigan as well. That will probably do it for us here for the Apex Autoglass and Tinting 410 Sprint Car Series. We thank you all for tuning in here on Ultimate Dirt TV. It's only fitting that you send us off. This is your baby after all, and I feel like I'd be stealing from you if I did. So why don't you go ahead and send us off the proper way?
Oh, well, I was going to let you do it. I even have a microphone muted and all, but that'll wrap us up here on Ultimate Dirt TV. On behalf of the entire management here at Ultimate Dirt TV and everybody behind the scenes here at the Apex Auto Glass and Tinting 410 Wing Sprint Car Series, on behalf of Tyler Harris, I'm Brett Wheeler, signing off, saying good night.